What we're going to look at now is the frame generator environment inside Autodesk Inventor Professional 2009. Created freehand here just a skeleton part, 24 inches high, 72 inches long, 48 inches wide. This is going to be the skeleton model for the frame that I'm going to build. So I've only got the one component here in my assembly, so I'm going to switch from the assembly to the frame generator panel. And in this environment I've got a different set of icons. So to bring things in, we just go to Insert. And this is going to pull the part members from our standard content library. I have my association that I can pull from. In this case I'm going to use the ANSI. The different families, I have flat bar, tube, flat bar steel, rectangular square tubing, angle steel, equal and unequal, W shapes, S shapes. See all the different types that are available inside the software. So we can just pick one here and say, okay, we'll go with the square tube. Now we have the sizes. These range for the available sizes that are available based off the family we pick from the association. So in this case I'm going to go with a 3x3x1/4. Now I can apply any of the preset materials that are in the software, or we can add these custom and add those to the styles library, and they would be there available as well. So in this case I'm going to use the aluminum 6061. Now if I want a specific color I can add one of those, but if I want to just leave it the as material I can do that as well. I do have an orientation window here on the right side of the insert dialog box. This is just where the placement is going to be based off of the pick points or the line that we select. So in the placement options I can get the edges of my skeleton part, or I can pick points. So for the part that I've got I'm going to use the edges. And if I select this outer edge here and rotate the model around and zoom so we can see it, kind of see there that it's right center line based off this orientation. So we can adjust that if we want it to be the top and the outside of where we're putting this is where our gate needs to be. But I'm going to use the middle, the center line selection there. And I can continue picking legs, or I can just drag a window around all of them. Drag a window around, I see it gets all of my sides for me here. Now it's going to frame name of the assembly because we are in a different environment inside the assembly. And hit OK. Here are the 12 parts that it's adding for me. It's going to put these in my location where the active project file is. So I hit OK. And it'll take it a few seconds, but it builds through the parts here, and it's storing each one of these parts individually so that we can apply independent end treatments. So we see that we've got a lot of interference here. Well, I'm going to right click on my skeleton part and just turn off visibility and get it out of the way there. And now I've got options. I can miter, I can trim, notch, and so forth. So I'm going to use the miter here. And as we see a preview here, it's kind of showing by default it's set with a 0 offset. So if I pick one member, the arrow toggles to the next. I can pick the next member and hit apply. And we can see that we get a 4 dot arrow right there in the corner. So I can continue picking these and get all the corners here, get the tops and bottoms, and just picking those and get the last two right here. Okay, so getting those, now we can see that we have the vertical members running in top and bottom here. So we'll close the miter box. Well, these here we want to trim or extend these to a face. So the members we can select these multiples in a time. So I'll pick my 4 members, and now the face that I want to trim these to, I'm just going to select the top of this bottom tube that's here. Hit apply, and it's going to shorten these members. And I'm going to select these again. Right click continue, or select the next arrow and select the underside face of the top tube we have there and apply that. And now we have cleaned those up with the miter in the corner. We have shortened our vertical members there as well. We can change these out now if we decide our vertical legs need to be something other than the 3x3. Go to change. It's going to build the library up, pull in all the components from the content library. And in this case here I'm going to go with the square, or I could change to a rectangle if I wanted to. But I'm going to stay with the square, but I'm just going to pick a smaller size. So I'll go with a 2x2x1/4, and I'll change and use the same material here. Now I just kind of pick the different pieces here that I've got. I say I want to change this corner here, and we'll change this to the 2 by 2 by quarter. We see a preview there. I can apply that. Now this is just telling me, okay, it's going to produce a new file. It's not going to delete the one we've already created. Okay, and then it comes in right there. Now it retains the end treatments from the previous piece. So swapping those in and out makes that a lot easier. So if we're using this with the Vault tool, we've copied design, and we want to swap out members, we can do that and retain the end treatments that we have applied previously. So as you can see, we just take a skeleton file, we get it the shape of the frame that we want to create, we bring it and place that skeleton file into an assembly, we save the assembly, go into the frame generator environment, start inserting our parts where they need to be. We can offset those, we can change the orientation if they're outside or inside or with an offset of set dimension, get those where we want, apply the end treatments, and we have our frame.